All right, let's take on number 2. Point P is on the terminal side of an angle theta in standard position. P is located r units from the origin. Tell which of the following statements is false. Notice it says false in bold, bold, bold. All right, so first thing is that you need to make sure that you know what sine, cosine, tangent are. So there was this thing that you learned back in geometry where we called it SOHCAHTOA. Okay, you should know this by now. If you don't, study it. Okay, this just means sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, tangent is opposite over adjacent. Cool. All right. Something else worth noting. All of pre-cal deals with the unit circle. You should have your unit circle memorized down. You should be able to recite it, say it forward, back, inside, out, understand everything about it because, well, we spent a semester on it. This guy right here, this is the radius, right? We usually call this the x-axis, and we call this the y-axis. I'm going to make it a little higher. Y-axis, dark, y. So we know that this guy here represents x, and this guy here represents y. And hence, therefore, ergo, we can say that if sine is opposite over hypotenuse, opposite is going to be represented by this guy right here. He is the opposite. And r is this guy here, who is the hypotenuse, which I'll represent with HYP because, well, I can't spell. And that statement is true. This is the equivalent of saying y over r. Okay? So statement 1 is correct, which means that it is true, which makes it false in this question. Okay, confused? Me too. All right, let's look at cosine theta. Cosine theta is adjacent over hypotenuse, which in our picture, adjacent is this guy. Remember, adjacent is just a fancy math way of saying next to. Okay, adjacent just means next to. It actually means next to in other languages like English. Okay, and this is r is hypotenuse, so this is going to be x over r. Tell me say r, I want to say it like a pirate. I'm going to go r. Okay, I apologize. The next one is cotangent theta. Now, realize that cotangent theta is not tangent. It is the reciprocal of tangent. So cotangent theta is the reciprocal of tangent. Remember, reciprocal is just a fancy way of saying reciprocal is just 1 over tangent. And that just means I take my O over A and I flip it. A-O. Okay? Which means that if A, adjacent, which, you know what, why don't we write ADJ, is X, then A here is X, and O is Y. So O is Y, O is Y. And it gives us X over Y. We got X over Y. Okay, so that's true. All right. So of course it's going to be the last one, but we need to see why. So we're going to check out secant theta. Secant theta. Oh wait, secant theta, sorry. Which is the reciprocal of cosine. Okay. Also, a little note here. I'm on this before I show this. Cosecant theta is 1 over sine theta. This is not hard to memorize. Just realize that if it starts with a C, its reciprocal, S, its reciprocal has a C. And vice versa. So it starts with a C, the reciprocal has an S. Okay, you should have this memorized. If you don't, I'm very angry with you. All right. So 1 over cosine is the reciprocal of cosine, which we said is cosine is x over r. So you flip it. So x over r now is r over x. All right. And then just, you know what, just for fun, we'll go ahead and fill this one. Sine, the reciprocal of sine, which is y over r, is r over y. And hence, we check to see where we're doing secant. So I check secant. And secant says r over y. But we just finished saying secant was x over r. I'm sorry, r over x. I'm confused. I'm confused. Yes, This one is false. It's not true. Hence, it is the correct answer. Woo! We got the answer. It's D. Yeah. R over Y is actually cosecant, not secant. All right.